Top U.S. diplomats are in India today. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin are working to bolster the partnership between the two countries. The stop follows the Secretary of State's whirlwind trip to the Middle East and Israel's decision to allow 4-hour daily humanitarian pauses in Gaza.
These steps will save lives and will enable more assistance to get to Palestinians in need. At the same time, much more needs to be done to protect civilians and to make sure that humanitarian assistance reaches them. Far too many Palestinians have been killed. Far too many have suffered these past weeks. And we want to do everything possible to prevent harm to them and to maximize the assistance that gets to them.
So CBS News White House reporter Bo Erickson is joining us now to talk a little bit more about the White House's response to all that is unfolding in the Middle East. And let's start with these, daily humanitarian pauses, something that Israel said they're sort of doing already, but maybe it's more formalized now with the intervention of the White House. But how is the White House responding to this?
The White House has been pushing for these types of humanitarian pauses and is now trying to at least take some credit for their implementation of them. And the reason for these pauses is try to bring down the danger level for the civilians in Gaza. They say with these pauses, civilians will be able to move out of some of the targeted areas by the Israeli military. And the U.S. is also saying that these pauses will help humanitarian aid trucks enter the south of Gaza. A top U.S. official here says they now have a goal of 150 humanitarian trucks entering Gaza each day. The President Biden, he has said that these pauses he hopes will be extended. So we'll look to see if maybe those hours tick up. Now it's 4 hours. Who knows, it will be in a couple days. But it is important to note when we talk about trying to bring down this danger level, as we heard from Secretary Blinken there, the U.S. has not really specifically said how many people they think civilians have died in Gaza. They have said that many, many thousands have died, but they have continually questioned the numbers given by the Ministry of Health in Gaza as well.
So next week, President Biden and Xi Jinping will both be in San Francisco for a summit. There's an expectation that they will meet. This has been in the works, probably for over a year. There have been all these meetings between secretaries, between lower level members of the administration on there and here to pave the way to this meeting. What are we learning about it?
And CBS has been tracking all those meetings between U.S. officials and Chinese officials as well. But now we know U.S. officials have confirmed that President Biden and President Xi Jinping from China will meet this coming Wednesday in the San Francisco Bay Area. A lot of Asian leaders are coming for an economics forum with the U.S. president out there next week. So they will be meeting on the sidelines of this. And one of the most pressing issues that U.S. officials say the president is going to bring up with the Chinese president is the lack of military communication between the U.S. and China. Some people may remember that this communication was actually cut off by China last year when then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi traveled to Taiwan. They completely cut off. No phones are being answered between the U.S. military and the Chinese military. And U.S. officials were telling reporters like myself last night that this really increases the likelihood of miscalculation between the U.S. and China. Another issue that U.S. officials say the president is supposed to bring up with President Xi, they are warning of a, quote, bumpy year ahead between U.S. and Chinese relations because there's a presidential election here in the U.S. and also in Taiwan. And U.S. officials are saying that the the rising of military action around Taiwan, they are calling that unprecedented, dangerous, and provocative. And President Biden is expected to bring this up to Xi on Wednesday.
All right, really important stuff. Listen, before I let you go, got to ask you about the big news that came out of Capitol Hill yesterday, that West Virginia's Democratic Senator, Joe Manchin, will not be running for re-election. West Virginia's, a red state usually, so it was odd to have Joe Manchin there for so long. But also he was a little bit, a thorn in the side of Democrats on Capitol Hill. So have we heard anything from the president yet? How's he feeling about this?
Yes, one less Joe in Washington D.C. after next year. The president released a statement last night, and he really commended Senator Manchin for his service. And also, as you said, Senator Manchin has been a thorn in the side of President Biden's legislative agenda. But the president did give him credit for helping pass two of the biggest laws, the bipartisan infrastructure law and also that Inflation Reduction Act, where the president is really kind of trying to drive home this message of trying to bring down prescription drug costs. But, you know, the implications of this looking forward for Washington is that this really makes the Senate Democratic majority just a little bit more shaky, because the person who may be taking Senator Manchin's position is a Republican, the current governor of West Virginia. His name is Jim Justice.
Interesting. Well, we'll be watching that one closely. Bo Erickson, thank you very much.